dust and turned me into such. All you granted me was lust. And what I seemed to grow was rust. Are you displeased? Are you angry? My mighty my angels' wings have been bruised, they'll be straight. Those who break to blood are so fumes in vain. So believe in me and collect. I'm your leader again. Rise! So speak for me, little sister. Wanna leave you for another master. Leave you in a pool of water. The water is my alma mater. I hate my And turned me into such. All you granted me was lust, and what I seemed to have grown was lust. Are you displeased? Are you angry? My mighty night angels' wings have been bruised every strain. Those who break to blood are so fumes in vain. So believe in me and elect. I'm your leader.
really big bruiser, heavy-hitting characters that are based off of like Greek mythos. So there's Ajax, who is a giant of a man that can cloak and walks around with a hammer the size of a smaller man. So it's either that one, it's either that one, or it's the JSA, because the JSA is all about getting in and killing everything before it can actually do something. And that's how they win games. They kill so many of the enemies so quickly that they can't do anything.
Guys, I'm
I think it's
excited.
really
I just
funny
got-
that you haven't realized we're live yet.
Have we?
Yep.
Are we? Okay. Well,
Give mod.
I'll give you mod.
Oh,
we'll see how
no.
bad
okay,
this
well,
goes.
Oh.
I appreciate everyone getting to hear that. So,
Oh, stars.
all right. So, well, welcome back, everyone. Apologies for lapse in judgment on my part. You know why we're here, and Rek has asked me to stop giving introductions for the
I
stream.
did not say that. I was just making fun of you for it.
Which implies that you should stop.
Exactly. But without
there
further
we go.
ado, would someone like to give a recap?
Oh, Ruford, I'll steal a recap from you.
No, I have to collect them all. It's the only reason I haven't been kicked from the group yet.
It. Fine, I'll let you get this Pokemon.
Not much happened, so it's rather short. Okay, so we found. We figured out at the beginning that maybe the people we had left in our little hiding house were captured. We wouldn't have found a bit of more. And we had another hiding house thanks to the help of our captive. Led us there. Began our interrogation. Found out his name was Otzul. Informs us there's a lot of guards and that he's a merchant of some kind. Also informs us that the Thousand Fangs is more akin to a cult than a criminal gang. We know that there's this big fucker who's here, who, according to Otzel, killed a purple dragon knight. Eventually, we are notified of smoke, and we make our way. And then the Drake and Klauf arrive completely unscathed. We make our way over to the smoking building and see it was in fact the building we were hiding out in. Inik is being dragged away. A large man is doing what can only be described as a villain speech. There's a whole commotion with Lessla trying to get a rapier from the burning house. Failing a stealth check, the large-scaled man decided to just destroy another house for no reason. Well, I guess. And after this, we all decided to head back to the camp because she's overheard a man say, "Hey, 3 days is all you got before we do shit, buckos." And a distraction happened, and we made our way back to the camp.
Ba-bum.
It's more or less it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, and with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and continue on. And we last left off with you all sneaking your way out of the town
Yes.
successfully. And it will take you a little bit to get back to the camp. Now that you kind of do have a guide, it'll be a bit quicker than it was to get here. But you will arrive still in the middle of the night at this point. Assuming you guys don't decide to stop and rest. Which I don't think you will, given the circumstances.
Yeah.
All right then. I'll go ahead and move everyone back over here.
Yeah.
Forgot about the penguins.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
I don't think the stream has seen the penguins yet.
Oh yeah. Say hello. Oh, I also forgot about this.
Oh? Wait, what?
I need to add Liari to the board.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of important.
I guess.
Yes, no.
I'm on the fire. I'm the greatest. Look at me go.
We burned him at the
Okay.
stake. He's
All
away
right,
from
that
it.
was about 10d6 fire damage right there.
No, look at that. I'm dancing.
I
over
believe
the fire.
campfires are actually 3d6.
Do you want to actually do that?
No, no.
That's what I
stupid.
thought.
He doesn't have the health to do
I-
that.
You've
yet.
always
He's a
gotta
barbarian.
double check with
Actually,
Knight.
actually,
That is
I do have the health to do that for one turn.
For 6 seconds, he can dance on fire.
No, the lot of you turn back up with there is most everyone is asleep, but as soon as the sort of watch spots you, there's a lot of stirring in the camp, and most of the people you've come to know do come out. Most especially the boss, who kind of ignores you all and immediately goes up to Sindris and just gives her a hug.
Mhm.
And after a few seconds, and her kind of a little bit pushing him off, not seriously, just the dad not in front of my friends way.
Stop embarrassing me.
Yeah, sort of that.
We're not your friends, Sindris. Don't get it twisted.
We're already judging you.
Alright. But regardless. After collecting himself, he looks to the rest of you. You were back earlier than expected.
There are complications.
What kind of complications?
Well, we know who the God damn it, Knight. We know who is responsible for doing everything that's happening, as well as there being a obstacle that I'm not sure that we are quite capable of dealing with. And Lessla will push up her glasses as she takes a deep breath. First of all, it appears that the quote-unquote mercenaries or gangsters or gods, and she's doing air quotes with all those, is in fact a cult. Specifically, they are at least, the very least, if not the cult of the dragon. That's entire purpose is to resurrect Tiamat and bring her back to the mortal plane. The second...
Everyone
Oh.
who's around just kind of stares at you when you say that.
Lessla is continuing on. In addition, it appears that they have some sort of draconic adjacent being that is either masquerading as a dragonborn or is some sort of half dragon or something that's capable of breathing draconic breaths of fire on par with those of the dragons of old.
Did you say half dragon?
I do not know the proper term for it, as I did not wish to investigate the man who set 2 houses on fire and defeated my bodyguard.
No, that's perfectly understandable, but it... not the time. My apologies.
And the third thing is that this cult has well over the capabilities of an army. Since after our presences were discovered as the half dragon, and she's going to use air quotes because she doesn't know if it is or not, the half dragon is capable of sensing people with Zafeya's and Laura's disposition. It really sucks because now there's, in my Saturday game, there's an NPC named Laura, so I have to think, is this the correct NPC?
So is this the Saturday one Lara or Laura? Because this one is Lara.
Laura.
Okay.
Yep. There's just Lessla has an accent.
That's what it is.
Yeah, Laura.
I blame my stuff on too.
Well, I try to be very consistent with how she says things.
Yes, no, I understand.
Anyways,
the is capable of sensing people with those same dispositions. As the moment that he sensed our presence, he ordered the guards to double the patrols. If they're capable of doing that, there's a lot more of them than we first imagined.
Well, it's certainly not what I was expecting to hear back. Certainly not what I would like to hear back.
And possibly the most important thing is that whatever it is they're doing, it is happening in 3 days. Well, 2 now.
I think that just about covers everything.
See, I can give good recaps.
Sure.
And did you find any sign of who'd they'd taken?
Well, we did watch them take Inik away, but they were taking him across the bridge to either the island in the middle of your settlement or the rich side. And she does air quotes over rich side.
yeah, of course she does air quotes of a rich side. Love you, Rick. You're great.
Well, and that means we have 3 days to make our move.
I don't suppose you're hiding an army in that tent over there.
Nope. We have what you see here. And in spite of the tokens you might see around, there's probably roughly around 30 or so able bodies who look like they could fight. But they are hunters and farmers.
And a wizard.
And a wizard, yes.
Okay, well, what resources do we have available to us?
Not much. Not unless we can find something to even the odds in a couple days.
At this point, Lessla.
I mean, geez, if you want to start gathering an army of animals, I think that would be helpful.
Yeah, Lesla's just going to rub her chin and look to the magic circle. If only that worked.
I don't believe it would help you very much if it did. See, I've been
Mm.
working on it quite a bit while you were gone. I believe it is just a containment circle of some kind. Powers are completely confined to the circle itself.
But
Or rather, were.
but if it could work, we could figure out what would draw the things it would contain and use those as an asset.
See, I've been thinking some more about that. I believe it's a plant creature of some sort. Just as to what exactly, I'm not entirely sure.
Ring any bells in terms of my knowledge of things?
No.
Okay.
What about my little buddies?
No.
I had to ask.
The only one who might have a chance of this is Lessla, and it would
Yeah.
be a pretty hard check.
Well, I mean, I
Really?
can try and make it anyway.
I mean, might as well. It never hurts.
It's a nature check.
Okay.
It never
I'll take
hurts. What's the worst that can happen? You fail and don't know.
Well,
Natural 18.
You fail and get it wrong.
I have a feeling I think I know what it is out of character. It's if this thing will ever roll.
Wow, no.
Man, your thing's taking a sweet time to load.
Yeah, that's 14. Yeah, it was the dice was literally rolling on a point for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, they happen
Do you have
sometimes.
hardware acceleration off?
Of course, I have it on. The
Okay.
problem is I'm streaming.
Ah, I see.
So yeah, Lessla, with that roll, no, you've got no idea.
Like out of character, if it's meant to contain some sort of plant creature, the only one that like really comes to mind as something that would need to quote unquote be contained is that one thing that just for some reason can't be replicated, even though it is made out of magic. God, I can't remember what it's called. There's like the only way they are created is by lightning striking like foliage, and then it just comes to life.
A shambling man?
Shit. Is that what they're called? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's the only thing that I could think that'd be that.
Y'all are just saying
Obscure.
words. I don't know anything in the monster manual other than like your generic shit. So like, I'm at a loss either way.
Yeah, like that's the only thing esoteric enough that out of character I would think Lessa wouldn't know about it.
Regardless,
What if
yeah,
Okay.
not ringing a bell.
Wrong one.
Yep. All right.
That all being said, I may have some resources. Not that I can personally bring to bear, but I might know who can. If
And
this really is a cult, like you say,
that's funny. Lessla looks at him and says, I am very aware of the dragon cult and its practices. And this
Well-
is the cult of the dragon.
then there would be certain individuals who are very invested in putting them down.
Coach White
Well, I'm all ears.
says is the what I know there's something of remembrance. Are they the cult of remembrance?
The corpse
Corpse.
remembrance.
Corpse, yeah. I knew it started with the C. I'm like, huh. The corpse of remembrance.
I thought the P was silent and that stuff.
Is it okay? Is it like the word corpse, as in like dead body, or the core of remembrance? Because core. Okay, it is the
It is.
core
They
of
just pronounced
remembrance.
the P.
Yeah,
Why?
because they're
Because-
Dragonborn.
Because English is shit.
True.
Anyway, upon that, Lessla nods and says, I think they would very well be interested in such a thing. Although, it may be interesting if they do come face to face with a half-dragon.
It would take me some time, but I might be able to set up a spell to put me in contact with them, though their willingness to listen may take some more time.
How much time we're talking?
It very much depends.
I may be able to help
Helpful.
with the getting them to listen.
I'm all ears.
It's a personal thing, really. My mentor was a Dragonborn, and he taught me much of the draconic lores. It would not be out of the realm of possibility that he may be connected to them in some way.
I see. Perhaps if you could leave me with his name, if I'm able to get into contact, then I'll pass it along.
While I go back to my backstory.
It's a Dragonborn, what it says.
Oh yes. His name was, and forgive my pronunciation, it is quite a long one. Quiluxwal Viuxon.
I'm gonna need that spelled.
There's an explosion in the distance.
He just appears next to it to summon me.
I will put that in. Oh.
Thanks, Pigman.
All right. I'll be sure to pass it along if it helps at all, then. At this point, it's better to stack our deck as best we can.
There's only one K in there. It doubled it for some reason.
Okay. Well, I'll get started on that front. If anyone thinks of anything else I can be of assistance with, do let me know. I may slightly be delayed, but do let me know.
I don't suppose that magically there happens to be a purple Dragon Knight patrol somewhere in the nearby area.
Not that you're aware of, at the very least.
I assume she was looking at Cheese to ask Colonel Chestnut.
Is that the case?
Well, it would be, because I can't talk to a horse. Because horses don't actually understand any languages.
Of course, I will translate.
She's just gonna go to Colonel Chestnut, and she's going
Okay.
to inform him of
You,
the fact that.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Now you set up your speak with animals,
Mhm.
and you hear him begin regaling the other, like 2 to 3 horses they have here, who are not nearly as like stout as him. Like they're clearly just like your average like farm horse.
Draft horse.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That might even be a little bit too generous with them. truthfully.
I mean, those are the two differences: is a draft horse, which is used for pulling shit, and a war horse, which is used for war.
Yes, I'm explaining that these are not
Technically, yes, but um,
regaling them with war stories. You walk in on one about a particularly nasty goblin, as he describes it.
Excuse me, Colonel. Might I interrupt?
Oh, yeah, yes. Yes, my good friend.
I hate to interrupt, truly, but there are some things that need to be discussed.
Ah, I see. Run into a spot of bother.
Ah.
How may I be of assistance?
well, Cheese is going to inform him of the fact that we found someone wearing the symbol of a purple dragon knight. That doesn't seem to be a purple dragon knight. That seems to have stolen the symbol off of said purple dragon knight, and Cheese is going to describe the appearance, and see if that rings any bells.
Man with the dragon head. No, can't say that rings any bells.
Hmm.
However, that is highly dishonorable. I cannot abide by it. He stomps
Yes,
the ground a few times.
that means it is a possibility that your rider is being held captive.
I see.
Were there any other patrols in the area, one that we might be able to get into contact with quickly?
Oh, let me see. No, none that I can remember.
Hmm. Well, thank you for your assistance, Colonel.
Oh, not at all. Always happy to lend my assistance.
And she will give him a gentle smile and a scritch behind the ears. And you know what? She's gonna take the time to brush all of the horses if anyone needs her. She
Okay.
just gets distracted. She's like kind of forgot the fact that she needed to tell Lessla what happened. And she's just gonna brush the horses.
All right. So while Cheese is doing that, what does everyone else wish to be doing?
That's a great question. I am by no means helpful in the. Let's see. Who can we get to help? I have no connections. Any connections I might have are days away.
Well, we should probably let Waterdeep know about this in the meantime.
Waterdeep is multiple weeks away.
Yes, I know, which is why I'm looking at the spell components for Find Familiar to see if it's not because doesn't it have a brazier?
Yeah, brass
Brazier.
razors.
Yeah, I don't think they would have a brass one here. Wait, you know what? Does the wizard have one?
You'd have to ask him. It's going to be delayed.
Go ask him.
God I'm just seeing like what the actual components are to see if I can't just
It's
charcoal,
10 gold worth
incense,
of charcoal
and herbs.
herbs. Yeah, say very descriptive.
Yeah. I could probably get the charcoals and herbs. It's the incense that I wouldn't be able to get.
I can tell you he definitely has incense. As for like brazier, not one that you've seen.
Okay, yeah. Ah, God, I'm gonna have to find a brass brazier just
The
to carry
bronze
along.
brazier, would that work?
Well, it would have to be melted down and mixed with tin.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's that's probably out of the question, but we're probably not gonna be able to get Waterdeep to know about this. Probably. All right. Well.
Not in time to do anything anyway.
Not that they would be able to get here in time.
Mm-hmm.
9
We-
days travel here by road, and
Yeah.
I'm taking the same thing, and organizing a squad.
We
More
also took
days.
shortcuts.
Yeah,
Just
but
send
I'm
the
not.
guy,
I'm.
let's
I'm
say the
not.
guy have like a spell that just teleports an army.
It's
Okay.
not. It's not to get them to reinforce to us. It's
Yeah, I
in
know.
the event that we fail.
Makes sense. All
You
the
know.
days
Mail,
not to
mail.
have a, so all the days not to have a pet falcon.
Holidays not to have a pet falcon. But you know what we could do, because they were left here. We could have the retainers go.
Oh my god.
Hey, retainers, you're useful for one last thing. Your final act of servitude.
Go to Waterdeep and then retire.
Go to Waterdeep. Tell the captain of the guard what has happened, and maybe it'll be your last duty to Lord Inik.
I bet some of them are like, thank God he was weird.
I don't know what you're talking about. He was a great guy. I'm
He-
sure.
I mean,
Didn't
they,
he literally break a mirror just to tell his retainers to clean that up?
Yeah, because he's being an asshole.
Oh dear lord.
that is like probably the one thing that Lessla will do is she will tell them that your lord has been captured, and probably the only thing that you three are capable of doing is to go back to the town and alert the guard what is happening here. In a very well detailed letter.
Yeah, you explain the situation to them, and they very willingly. Turns out living in the woods is not exactly their forte. They are very willing to start making their way back.
Who'd have thunk it?
I thought living in the woods was difficult for people not used to living in the woods.
Yeah, I know. Shocking, isn't it?
It's just
Yeah.
city
Truly.
folk.
I really want to get Lehman's tiny hut.
These people want a magnificent mansion. So
Well, they're not gonna
That
get
is
one.
in fact what they're
In
used
fact,
to.
if they ever return back home without Inik, they'll probably be arrested.
You
were under
assume,
orders-
You
they
assume
were
Inik's
under orders.
family are nicer than they are.
they were under orders to not follow him. So technically it's because of their orders. They haven't technically.
But regardless, as for the everyone else, what are you all doing at this time?
Corvus has taken himself away with the commotion. He gets to just get away from everyone.
Okay.
And just sort of sets down. Once he's pretty certain that everyone's doing whatever they're doing, he'll look towards the cat on his shoulder. Like, what you find?
She stretches and hops down off of your shoulder, sitting in front of you. Well, not a whole lot. I saw the half dragon, I believe it was. That was certainly not something I was expecting to see, but it was very interesting.
Just scratches his beard a bit. Other than that, nothing of note. Nothing we can use.
She shakes her head.
Well, thank you for what you did get.
She gives a nod. If you allow, hops back up onto your shoulder.
Yeah, he doesn't fight it. He'll actually reach a little into his bag, pull out, dig under everything, pull out the little scroll case, and pull out the scroll. Get it out in front of him.
Specify which one, because I think you have a couple in there now.
I only have the one. I only have the one. I have scraps of paper and a scroll. That was
Okay.
specifically
Gotcha.
that. Dragons at all? I know it's a detailed thing of martial arts, but it's anything to do? Does it say anything about half dragons on the scroll?
It doesn't say anything about half dragons. The closest thing is it like makes mention of a temple, which you think has the word dragon in it. It's hard to tell, as that particular section of it is in just a bit of an odd language, like someone put it in a. Maybe that's the name of the place is just another language.
It's like I can't translate. That's probably a name.
Yeah, exactly. And you think that dragon might be mentioned in there, but you can't be confirmed. You can't confirm that at all.
Yeah. Just also glance at roughly where I believe I am. Martial art. Back to just didn't see it, but I felt that guy just breathe fire because I heard the sound and all.
Mm-hmm.
We'll focus on that moment a second.
Okay.
And after a little second, he'll exhale. Guessing nothing happens.
Roll me a con save. Just let's see.
Not one.
He burps and burns down the entire village.
You kind of feel like you feel the fire like build up within you for a little bit, but it doesn't stay. You aren't able to maintain it. You feel it for a little bit, but then it quickly dissipates just as fast as it came. But you felt it. That's something new.
That's alright. That's different. Let's scroll back up. No, if you stick around long enough, you might see something quite interesting.
Calico just licks her paw.
One time Corvus actually tries to have a little conversation.
You are aware that she is in fact a cat.
I'm very aware. I've talked to cats before.
Mm-hmm.
I guess talk to is
Talk
wrong.
at is more
Talk
accurate.
at? Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry, she'll use this against you later. They all do.
Cats are women.
There's a difference.
Oh my god.
I knew you were
Yeah.
going to say that.
Corvus will then just sort of skirting around, start just pacing around the camp, making it look like he was doing something.
Okay.
And after a while, return the camp and begin eating.
All right. Liari, Sapphire, what about the two of you? What are you up to?
Seeing a bunch of people that are suitably depressed and in need of entertainment, I am going to do just that and start regaling them with great stories.
Roll me performance.
Alrighty. Performance. There it is. Not great.
Not great. It's better than they've had in a while, so they seem to be receptive to it. It just maybe now is not the right time with the current mood, but you make them feel a bit better. You have much more success over in the sort of hospital tent up here.
You need a war song. They're going into battle. What is it? The Pocahontas
Just
one?
start blasting
Savages.
Vodan.
Savages.
As I've said before, Liari is not necessarily a musician. Like, he could probably sing and play instruments.
Mhm.
I mean, actually, he can play instruments, but that's not how he gives bardic
But he
inspiration.
can sing.
He can. He just doesn't really
But
do
should
that.
he?
Pocahontas song. Pocahontas song.
No, fuck you.
It's a good one.
I
Nah,
was
fuck you.
thinking Vodan.
Eh. There's too much Star Wars. I need fantasy in my fantasy.
Fine. Take your fantasy.
Steph,
and
are
your
you back
fantasy.
after the?
I'm a dwarf and I'm
So,
teasing.
yes, okay.
There you are.
That's all I can offer.
What about My Mother Told Me? That's a pretty good one. It's not a war song.
Oh,
but
that
it
is a
can
good
be
one.
used.
I cannot sing that, therefore I will not do it.
I
Not like Liari can, like I the player cannot.
So,
Understandable.
Sapphire, what about you? are you
I get the
doing?
feeling I'm gonna need more arrows, so is there a way I can make more?
Not really,
Not real, damn.
but that is the one thing they do have a stockpile of.
Wonderful.
It turns out hunters kind of need to have a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask them for like 10? At
Yeah,
least.
yeah, you can absolutely ask them for 10.
Sweet. I get 10 more arrows. Thank you.
And that's all?
I'm not sure how else I'm going to be helpful with this phase of
I mean,
everything.
you guys have a while to just kind of do what you want. Talk to people. Just do whatever.
After Lesla's done writing the letter and giving it to the retinue, she will start trying to help figure out what the plan is for the what everyone to do in order to quote unquote assault this city, this hamlet. Yes, hamlet. That is what it is.
All right. So that's what everyone's kind of doing right now.
I mean, Sapphire's probably going to be listening into other conversations, but she doesn't really have a way to add.
Not
more
seeking out
to it.
anybody.
Not really. She knows
Okay.
Corvus does his own thing. Lessla is Lessla. Cheese is preoccupied with horses. I'm not going to tear her away from that. And new guy is the new guy, and
Yeah. And
He's telling stories.
he's telling stories. I can't interrupt him.
is there anything Lesla's gonna do once she's done with the other thing?
I don't know. Watch to see what the wizard is actually doing.
Some
Nothing.
kind of ritual in his tent. It's hard to tell, but there are candles and incense, and you're not sure what that powder is, but you can smell it from where you are.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He is
Mm-hmm.
off his ass. Man is in the clouds.
Hell, I would deny it, but it's magic that might actually be accurate.
Magic
What are
requires
you doing?
concentration.
What are you doing in there? Magic.
Magic requires concentration, so I doubt it.
Special magic.
I didn't say he was actually doing
You
it.
gotta
I just said it
you
may
got-
very well be a spell component.
But remember, he is a mage that specializes in nature magic.
His
He's got
May very
style-
well be nature magic.
He's got weed. No, he's got the mushroom.
Oh my god, I'm going to
The
shoot all of
mushroom
you.
Was actually the
Part of-
mushroom salesman.
He would be
It's
dead
part
by
of his
now if
long
he was the
rest.
mushroom salesman. I guarantee you
Part of
that.
his- it's part of
I
his long
still
rest
have that
ritual.
bag.
my god, you do.
You know what? Maybe we can grind it up and put it inside of their ration bars.
I mean, if you want to screw
don't
around
think
with the bag of mushrooms, you can screw around with the bag of mushrooms.
I don't think the dosage would be high enough.
No, I doubt it myself. That's funny
I mean,
though.
Cheese didn't eat very much of it.
Yeah, Cheese had a nibble.
That's true. Now, if we were
Yeah.
to pollute the water, I'm kidding.
All right,
Ask Jinsaka, he's good at that.
I'm not the evil one anymore, I guess.
I was kidding.
Anyway, but no.
Anyways,
You guys have at least a couple days and some time to take some rest here as well.
I'd rather
Yeah.
not wait to the last minute for something like this.
well, there's a couple things that Cheese wants to do. What is the current phase of the moon? Big man, do you know?
Oh, what did I tell you it was
It
last
was a
time?
new moon recently, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cannot
couple
remember what you
days.
told me
right. It
last
was
time.
right. It had just switched off of that at the time.
So
So yeah, it's still in that.
Like waxing crescent.
Yeah, essentially.
Towards being full moon, but still a ways away.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
Like you maybe
Cheese.
had a new moon the other night.
Okay.
So it's very close.
Cheese at one point does want to, whenever nobody is near it, preferably at night, she wants to go to the circle.
Corvus
the
literally
point.
sleeps there.
Okay. So there's a sleeping Corvus and boy right
Corvus,
next to you.
yeah, like near that on that tree. I'll move him up to his tree. Been sleeping under that.
Also,
the
roll me
entire
a stealth check, Cheese.
Ah, okay.
Swear to God, if that cat happens again.
Don't roll a 1.
What the fuck, a cat again?
Love how
Oh.
we intermediately refer to it as cat and calico.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a calico cat, so.
It's a black cat.
Oh,
Yeah, she is a black cat. Well, not quite. But regardless, Cheese, you go over to the Druid Circle. What are you trying to do?
She wants to do what she did last time.
So just a little bit of Druid craft.
Yeah, for lack of a better term, imbue the circle with magic, but whatever comes to try and like alter her like it did last time, she's going to completely let it.
oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
So then go ahead and roll your Arcana check to do that. Or I guess nature would also work.
Well, it's the same check.
Okay. Yeah, so an 8, you try. You aren't really able to get it to work. It's like you're trying to remember how you did it, but it's been a while. You're not quite sure anymore.
Cheese just lets out a very biting and rude curse in Sylvan.
Okay. Roll me a perception check, Cheese.
Oh shit. Well, fuck. 8, how's that sound?
It sounds like you don't notice anything.
It's a damn shame.
But she's just gonna stay at that circle and just like pour over it again. Read over the Sylvan, or read over the Druidic again and again.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like absent-mindedly repeating it under her breath.
Your Ninja
Until-
Turtle nightlight scared it away.
Okay. Are you gonna
Fuck,
be
what
doing
was
this all night?
Yeah, and she will rest during that day.
I guess at some point I will. You see, I want to speak to both Zerfea and Lara
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like they might have some insight into the situation, but I don't know like how Lessla would approach them.
Okay. Well, you can take some time for that.
Mm.
We can come back to it. But yeah, Cheese, if you're just gonna meditate there all night, I need a con save and I need a will save.
All right, here's your con. That's a 9. Where's
Okay, never mind
the?
about the will save. You fall asleep.
Okay, cool. Funny druid or funny trance. She just goes into trance then.
Mm-hmm.
Or do I like full on fall
That's
asleep?
right. Actually, that's right. You do have the trance. Give me the will save anyway.
Well,
Cheese just
Sorry.
zones out trying to do this. It's probably not a good thing.
the thing
You
about
keep saying will
wisdom.
as in
Wisdom.
willpower.
Yes, wisdom.
Yeah.
That is the wrong. That is the wrong system.
It is
Uh,
indeed.
23. How's that
Okay.
sound?
I'm pretty sure Pathfinder has that, so I just kind of
Yeah, it is.
it's one and the
That's,
same
that is
to me.
what I'm thinking of. I
Yeah.
played too many game
I
systems.
guess someone
forgive me.
says reflex save for dex save. I know what they're talking about, so why
Yeah.
question? Actually, you said it wrong. Sticks go fuck yourself.
Right?
Yeah,
You
you
said
go
it wrong,
ahead
therefore I
and,
get advantage.
So, Cheese, as you nod off into your trance, you start to hear bits, pieces of. You recognize part of it. You recognize the Druidish script. You recognize it being chanted. You also recognize some words in Sylvan that are intertwined with it. Like there's a second person or persons speaking it as well.
Hey. Writing that down. Sorry.
It requires 2 people.
Cheese is gonna kind of, if she is able, snap back into herself out of her trance.
It will
And
happen towards the end of your trance, so it will be a little
okay.
later into the night.
It's
Okay, that
it's
Probably
just
more
a
closer to
druidic
dawn at
marriage
this
circle.
Cheese is going to, whenever she is conscious again, hopefully still either under cover of night or without eyes on her, she's going to read the druid circle but translate it into Sylvan and say it aloud.
Okay.
And try to do that same sort of imbuing
Yeah.
it with magic once more.
Okay. So this is going to be a nature check. However, you're going to make this with advantage.
Nature at advantage. Roll. Nat 20.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
So
It's a -1, so it's a
Cheese,
19, but still.
as you do that, the circle begins to glow significantly brighter. Well, it actually begins to glow in the first place. But nothing happens just yet. You get the feeling you've done part of what you need. But it is more active than it has been. It actually is active.
Do I, other than the fact that it's glowing, do I notice anything new, like new runes or words or something?
No, not on it. But you do feel them. You feel that Sylvan script like it's lingering. There is definitely Fey magic about this, now that you've spoken that.
Oh, fuck, she's just gonna try and keep imbuing it with more. She's gonna spend a spell slot for it.
Okay. Are you doing the same
Um,
thing with the Fey words, or are you doing something different?
She will once do it in Sylvan, and then the next time do it in Druidic, and
All
flip
right.
flop between the two.
So go ahead, roll me the one for Sylvan first.
Okay. And this is just another nature check.
Yes, with advantage though.
Ah, okay. Trolley.
I think I
Oh,
understand
what
how it's
the
supposed to
fuck?
work.
It's another nat 20. I am
Okay.
God.
So
Don't.
Don't say that for your next roll.
so you go to imbue it, and as you're doing the Sylvan thing, it's just not you're not feeling that. And unlike an instant of whim, you switch over to Druidic before you plan to. And you feel it begin to resonate. Like you can tell that it's doing something. What exactly it's doing, you're not sure, but it is doing something.
Type
You
of
are
magic.
interacting with this magic.
Ooh.
I love
I
how you're
can't
doing
tell what
this,
it's
like,
doing.
in the middle of the night / a crack ass of dawn.
Yeah. Right
Yeah,
around when
so,
Lessla usually wakes up too.
I don't know what Corvus wakes.
Unfortunately, same for Sapphire.
you wake up to cheese now
So-
entranced by the circle and making
at
it
this
do
point,
something.
Cheese, the light is bright enough to where you feel like it should be blinding you, but it's not. As for everyone else in the camp, it is very much blinding you. Good morning.
pull-
Ah!
I pull the cloak over my eyes so I can so I'm not
Yeah,
blind.
yeah, pretty much the rest of the
Also,
camp is
shield Calico's eyes, but boys outside the cloak, so you have to crawl under.
yeah.
Now, used to blinding magical light, Lessla isn't really gonna shield her eyes as she goes over. She's not gonna interrupt Cheese.
It's worse than the fucking cannon.
Right.
How? It's like a mini sun. What the hell's going on?
But she would like to examine what's happening with the magic circle itself.
It's active. If you want to know more, that will be an Arcana check.
Yes.
Also, good luck with your sight later on.
There's a reason why Lessla wears glasses. She doesn't actually need them.
Well, you're gonna need them soon.
But yes. Actually, I don't know if Leslie needs them or not. I never actually decided.
She needs them for the one eye, but she thought monocles were tacky.
All right. Arcana check. Normal.
Bless
roll.
you.
Yeah.
One day it'll roll. There we
Mhm.
go.
One of these days.
Fuck you. 11.
So you're not you can't quite tell what it's doing. It's active as to how it's active, what it's trying to do, how Cheese is interacting with it. You have no clue. This is druidic magic. It is very well and far outside of your wheelhouse.
That there's some magic.
Yeah, that's about all you can get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's magic, and it is reacting to something Cheese has done. Cheese, as for
Yes.
you stepping fully into the circle begin to see like the world around you sort of shift. The circle itself looks newer, and you begin to see this area where something had clearly been for a while be covered in moss. It's a very thick, almost coarse type of moss. It's not anything you've ever encountered before personally. And now instead of everyone around here, what you see is a clearing that has been meticulously manicured. The plants arranged in a very specific way. And over here stands several men in these very dark brown cloaks. And they are in the process of finishing up a druidic chant. On the other side is one individual immediately, a elf of some sort wearing a very fine, bright set of armor. It is immaculate in its construction. with an emblem emblazoned on it that you don't really recognize. You can tell it has a dragon on it, but that's about it. As for behind them is a Goliath silver dragon. Both the elf and the dragon's eyes glow with this same light as the circle, whereas the druids over here, their words begin to engrave themselves upon it, as the moss actually begins to writhe and squirm until it falls still. A few moments later, both the elf and dragon, as well as the druids, cease their chanting. And you finally get a decent look at them. The elf in question is not like an elf that you've seen before. Like, you know it's an elf, but elves aren't supposed to have wings. That's different.
What do the wings look like? Are they
They
draconic
are
in fashion?
they
or-
are angelic in appearance.
Okay.
They are pristine white, and although you can tell that they have seen battle, they are maintained very meticulously. They are just as beautiful and immaculate as the armor that they wear.
Does it seem like these people can see me at all?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Seems like you are an observer to this event.
And following the chanting, what happens after they stop chanting?
So as it comes to a stop, the moss begins to stop writhing, and the circle ceases its glow. The words sort of sink into the stone, and whatever was coming from the elf and the dragon, it sort of just dissipates into the air. You can still feel it. It's still there, but it is no longer visible and tangible like it was. And whatever this moss is that covers it, well, it is no longer moving and writhing like it was either.
Is
And
anything
the,
else happening?
yes, the first thing you hear is the elf speak in Sylvan, and it is a very fine and proper form of Sylvan speech.
Mhm.
One that you've only heard from some Fae. You know, it'd be similar to describing English. There's Scottish and there's Queen's English, and you are
Mhm.
essentially hearing Queen's English of Fae or of Sylvan.
Mhm.
It is very proper, very well enunciated. And the elf speaks, telling the druids, that binds the last of the Obliviacs. The druid on the other side nods, the one who seems to be in charge. May it never again rise to cause terror. Then the elf responding, are you certain with your decision to not destroy it? I am. It goes against everything we stand for to destroy the entirety of a life. The elf nods and regards the circle and the people on the other side. Then this one is to remain here for eternity? In ideal circumstance, yes. And we shall remain to guard it. Then so ends our bargain, and I leave you to your task. And the two share a nod as the elf turns and begins to walk back towards the dragon, and the druids just sort of disappear into the forest behind them. And Then everything shifts again. The area now looks a lot more similar to what you see today, except it's more overgrown. There are no tents. There's no campfire. There's no people. What there is a figure who you can't get a clear look at, as they are just shrouded in this inky blackness that seems to disguise them from view. Like, all you can see is that there is a shape there. What it is, you can't tell. But there is only the one. And you can feel this charge in the air. On the ground before them lays a man in the very similar brown robes to the druids that you saw, with a blade driven clean through him, or what remains of him. As this dark and shadowy figure begins to step forward and raises up a hand towards a circle. And before they even begin to speak, you can see the moss-like thing begin to shift and shake, like it is awakening once again. And then, like, you feel this, like, snapping of a rope, honestly, in your mind, as you are yanked back into reality, and the glow dies down before your eyes.
Jesus just left on her hands and knees, panting, probably like her staff just clattering to the ground. And she's like sweating.
Miss Cheese, what did you see?
You wouldn't know what Obliviax is, would you?
Lessla, you may roll.
Yeah. Would I have advantage?
This time with advantage, yes. Because you have the name of something.
Rivelin, do you know of any druids that were in this land beforehand?
None that I can recall. Though many druid circles do keep to themselves, it's possible there was one.
One in brown robes. Anything? That would have
Many
worked with a
druids wear
silver
brown.
dragon and a man with wings.
Hmm.
22?
22. You have vaguely heard of such a creature. They're supposed to be extinct. For quite some time, actually.